Welcome to another edition of Flex Rental Solutions how-to videos. Today we're going to be going over the ability to set up a separate ship and return date for individual line items in a quote. To do this, we're going to need to configure our system for these dates. The way you do that is go to System Settings in the Admin console. From here we're going to go to Projects, Project Elements, and we're going to configure this for the quote. So we're opened up our quote, and from here we're going to go to our document view. For you, I would create a new view, and I've already created one and called it Warehouse View. So I'm going to open that up, and when you create a new view, you can give it a name called Warehouse View, or you could name it Date View. And I would leave all these as their default values up here. Now, there are a couple different areas in this view that we can configure: the header block, the detail block, and the total blocks. Under the header area, this is where you put all the different header information. So if you wanted to add a ship date, you would give it the caption of what you want it to read, and we'll just call it ship date. We're going to select our ship date right here. We're going to create the width and hit add column. And I've already done that, so we've created a ship, return, warehouse, shipping method, and return method. If you want to reorganize these, you use the green and red arrows to organize them up and down. If you want to add a second row, then you put the second row is 1 and keep on adding those header areas. Now the detail area, these are all the different columns, and we told the system that we wanted to have a quantity column, so we put in QTY. We selected the quantity, and you can't see that, but I'm going to select down to here to quantity. The width factor is how wide we want that column and whether we want it left, center, or right justified, and then hit add column. So we added quantity, description, notes, the pickup date, and the return date. We didn't add any total blocks because this is just a planning area. No financial information is really needed. With that configured, we can now go back to our workbench. I'm going to open up a specific quote that I just called test. Going to expand this right area just a little bit. And I'm going to go to my warehouse view that we created. So here's our quantity, our description, our notes, our pickup date, and our return date. We can see that the ship date is 2/10 at 8 a.m. and it's returning on 2/12 at 5 p.m. So we're going to go to Audio, Mixers, and add a Yamaha M7. Okay, and we're not going to add anything else. So if I right click on the Yamaha and go to Schedule, we can see that we now have one that is out from the 10th through the 12th. Now, if I go, I'm going to open this up just a tiny bit and click on my pickup date, and I'm going to select it's going to go out on the 11th, and it's going to leave at 8 a.m. and hit tab to release that. Now, if we go to our schedule, we can now see that it is not going out until the 11th. Okay. Now we're going to squeeze this out a little bit more. Select our return date, and it's going to return on the 11th also, but at 5 p.m. If we try to enter it as earlier than the ship date, it'll give us a notification and not allow that. So we're going to hit tab. So now, even though the ship date of the whole job is on the 10th and returning on the 12th, on this one line item, it's going out on the 11th at 8 a.m. and returning the 11th at 5 p.m. And let's see what our schedule now looks like. So now we can see that its availability is only calculated on the 11th. I hope that gives you a good understanding in how we can selectively modify the individual line item, ship, and return date. If you have any questions, please contact me at chris@flexrentalsolutions.com.